just have a question, kind of. This is kind of gonna be just a question without an answer, of which I don't have an answer to personally because I don't know the perspective personally. But this video is going to be about mammies. I know I talk about mammies sometimes, and I always wonder, why is it I encounter a lot of different content and things about black men in a negative sense, and it's always by someone who is mammy. Like, maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought a mammy was somebody who preferred black men, or was only with black men, and was pro black men and things of that nature, right? So I don't understand. Like, to me, I don't understand why, if you're so into black men, how come? Yeah, like, how come I always find a lot of complaints and anger over black men and how they're treated and things of that nature? Like, there's one content creator that I saw, and I didn't know they were mammy at the time. I really wasn't familiar with their information or their the content they were creating, because they kind of, I guess you could say, um, towed the line, kind of were on the fence. And then they kind of moved more onto the mammy side of things. But I just don't get it. How come, like, I always find content on black men and a lot of content on black men? Most of the content I find of negative content is about black men not being good fathers, black men treating them poorly, black men being bad boyfriends, black men doing this, black men doing that, black men, black men, black men. And sometimes it might not be a current mammy who's doing this even. It could be somebody who is in a who was in a relationship long ago, or they consider themselves race loyal. And that makes more sense. Someone who was race loyal in the past and now is a swirler. I understand that when people talk negatively about black men, because they're sharing their experiences about black men and how things didn't work out for them personally. And I mean, they have every right to share their experiences, whether that's bad or good. I've always wished, honestly, that I could share my experiences, good and bad, with other races of men, but it always seems like everybody likes to use it for their own gain. Whether it's like a positive one, then people want to push it as a way for other people to pursue. And then, for those who are against swirling and divestors, if you have a bad experience, you really can't share that experience, because then it's like, oh, you experienced something bad, so, this is why interracial dating is bad, basically, in their minds. It's just like, I've said this before, I never really liked the fact that so many different content creators and so many platforms have this idea that interracial relationships are bad, interracial relationships are good, and there's no, like, people are people, and so finding the right person, no matter what race they are, you will find some bad people and you'll find some good people, and, neither is really telling of the whole race of people. If you really think that, in my opinion, if you think that, all black men are this way or all white men are that way, whether it's good or bad, you subscribe to some kind of, racism in some sense, because you're generalizing a whole race of people based on their skin tone. And personally, I would never do that to someone based off their character. I think no matter your skin tone, you can act any way, and you can be any kind of person, and you can have any kind of personality. So, I mean, I'm not one to judge someone off their skin tone to say what kind of person they're going to be off of a skin tone. You know what I mean? Um, Other than that, I just don't get why. It seems like many of the mammies, the people who deal with black men currently, they are interested in black men currently, and, that's who they prefer, will constantly talk against black men at the same time. Some people would say that's because black men are so bad, and I don't really think, I don't like to think that's what it is. I tend to think mammies are low self esteem. And if they're low self esteemed individuals, they're going to find bad relationships. But more than that, it's just, to me, I think mammies, for one, I feel like they are the types who basically deal with black men the most, so they have a lot to say. But it's annoying to me that they always have something negative to say, because it's like, okay, if you don't like it, then why are you doing it? You don't have to choose anybody, you don't have to be with anybody. I mean, if I was really distressed by being with a man, I just wouldn't be with the man altogether, and I would just stay, I guess, celibate if I couldn't be with another type of man. So that's why I'm like, if you find that you're having trouble or you're having problems or you're complaining about the same men that you're dating, then I don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing it and why you're complaining about it. Because it's like, you don't have to be in a relationship with them. You do know that. You're not like sentenced to a 9-year relationship with this messed up black man that you're complaining about. You literally have a choice not to be with that person. And instead, what you want to do is complain to us about the mentality of black men that you've encountered that are, not ideal. And it's like, you could just, not deal with them and you wouldn't have that problem. So either you like it and you like your problems, or, sorry, you know, you're just basically talking just to get attention. And I kind of feel like it's a bit of both. I don't really feel it's serious. Because, I mean, like, if you're with them, if you're with black men, and you're complaining about black men, then one of the two situations is not true. And I don't think you're not really with black men. So I would like to think that most likely you really don't feel these are big issues for you when it comes to black men, but you feel that people will pay attention to you more if you claim that these are big issues when it comes to black men. And I just think that that just seems like a bit attention seekerish type, in my opinion. And I don't appreciate that. So, yeah, that's all I have to say on mammies. I don't really like them. I don't really like platforms with mammies on them. Sometimes I watch channels with mammies accidentally because mammies sometimes try to fake being like fence straddlers. I don't mind people who are like rainbow swirlers, for example. So sometimes some things overlap. But yeah, I just find that really annoying about mammy platforms is they're always complaining about the black man while being with him. I mean, just pick one. Either complain or shut up and be with him. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.